State at home 63-7, a blowout there. University of Miami, Florida beat Duke 22-10. And Ole Miss, the 10th ranked team, beat Memphis 24-3 at home. Notre Dame, the 8th ranked team, beat Syracuse in Syracuse. It was 31-15. Washington State beat Utah in an upset, 28-27 in Utah. 7th ranked Baylor beat Iowa State, 49-28. 21st ranked Nebraska beat Illinois 45-14, and 18th ranked USC beat Oregon State 35-10. Let's look at the new rankings. Florida State did not move down after that close-ish win. They are 1. Then Oregon behind them. Then Alabama. Oklahoma in 4th. Auburn in 6th. Followed by Texas A&M. Baylor and UCLA jumps 3 spots to become the 8th ranked team. Notre Dame falls 1 slot and is now 9th. Michigan falls a slot and they are 10th. Ole Miss also falls down a slot. Mississippi moves up 2 slots and is now 12th. Then it's Georgia, Stanford, LSU, USC, Wisconsin, BYU, Nebraska, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, East Carolina, Kansas State, Missouri gets back in the rankings, TCU gets back in the rankings, all move up slots. It is now time for... Oh, we are having technical difficulties. 1 sec. There we go. It is now time for... It is NFL time. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sunday Night Football. There is 3:41 left in the 4th quarter. Cowboys creaming the Saints 31-17. Bills fall to the Texans in Texas 23-17. Ravens beat the Panthers 38-10. Buccaneers beat the Steelers 27-24, and the Chargers beat the Jaguars at home 33-14. Vikings also beat the Falcons 41-28 in a surprise upset for me and personally. Packers beat their division rivals, the Bears, 38-14, an upset there in Chicago as the Packers win. The Colts cream the Titans 41-17. Andrew Luck had a great game. Would it be enough to be in our top 3 players of the week? The Lions beat the Jets in New York 24-17. As the Dolphins in London beat the Raiders 38-14. What I don't like about these games in London are how they're always showing the worst teams possible. I mean, the Raiders, later in the season, they're showing the Jaguars. Like, nobody cares about them. Are they just sending them into London because nobody cares about them and maybe London would? Well, anyways, 49ers beat the Eagles 26-21. Finally, somebody stopped Nick Foles. He had 0 touchdowns. Our top 3 players of the week are National Sports Radio: Andrew Luck, DeMarco Murray, and Steve Smith. Steve Smith made his return against Carolina after he was released earlier. Let's look at some statistics. Nick Foles is leading with passing yards currently. Eli Manning is behind him. with 4 yards less, then Matt Ryan, then Kirk Cousins, and then Andrew Luck. Rushing yards, DeMarco Murray is leading with 385 rushing yards. Rashard Jennings is behind him with 341, then Alfred Morris, Le'Veon Bell, and Arian Foster. Receiving yards, Julio Jones again is leading with 365. Jordy Nelson is behind with 351, then Emmanuel Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and Niles Paul. Big surprise for me. Let's look at who has scored the most touchdowns. Julius Thomas has 5 touchdowns as he is leading. Tied with 4th is Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, and Larry Donnell. Let's go to the defensive statistics. As for tackles, Bobby Wagner with the bye week is still leading, and he is tied with Jelani Jenkins and Paul Worrilow with 35 each. Ryan Kerrigan still is leading with 5 sacks. Behind him is Willie Young with 4, and then Mario Addison, Justin Smith, and Carlos Dunlap behind him. With interceptions, Kyle Fuller still has 3, with Tyshawn Gibson, Antrell Rolle, Greg Toller, and George Ioka with 2. Let's look at the standings real quick. Our final thing here, NFC East, Philadelphia leading right now. They are 3-1. Dallas is 2-1, but is probably going to tie it right now and be 3-1. New York Giants are 2-2, and then Washington Redskins are behind. In the NFC North, Detroit is 3-1, leading the way, as Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago are all 2-2. Carolina and Atlanta are both 2-2. They are on top of the NFC South, and New Orleans and Tampa Bay are both 1-3. In the AFC West, Arizona with their bye week and Seattle with their bye week, Arizona is up top of that division, 3-0. Let's go to the AFC real quick before I leave you. New England is 2-1 ahead of Buffalo, Miami, and New York Jets. Cincinnati with their bye week is 3-0 ahead of Baltimore, who's 3. Wait, is that 3-2 now? What? No. Yeah. Oh, anyways, with Baltimore, who is 3-1, and Pittsburgh and Cleveland are behind. Houston is leading that in the AFC South, 3-1. Indianapolis is behind; they are 2-2, and followed by Tennessee and Jacksonville, who are 0-4. In the AFC West, San Diego is in the lead, 3-1. Denver had their bye week, so they are 2-1, followed by Kansas City and Oakland. Thank you for an amazing day here. Until next time, this has been Eli Lesser on West Coast Recaps.
Live from Los Angeles, we thank you for listening to another presentation of the National Sports Radio Station on Spreaker.com.